Oh, the trim is gone. After all that, the trim is gone. Shout out to Faddy Namo from the last video. You mentioned how sharp I was looking. It's all... it's gone. The lockdown's really got the better of me. But yeah, whatever. What is going on, guys? This is obviously Jordan again, back with another video after about a month and a half, probably even 2 months. That's literally because the first time I planned to do this video, the Help to Buy ISA versus the Lifetime ISA, usually I back my videos up onto my hard drive, then when it's updated, I delete it, and then so I delete it from my laptop, so it's only on the hard drive. But somehow this time I just forgot to put it onto the hard drive, and I clicked delete, and then video was gone, and then I had exams and obviously Corona and all this stuff going on at the same time, so I didn't have time to get outside, sit down and do the next video. So what I'm going to do for the rest of September, or for as much as I can physically, I guess, do, given my time constraints, is try and get out as many videos as possible. Hopefully 2 a week. I'm aiming for about 2 videos per week. But we're kicking this week off. I said this week off, kicking off. It's Thursday, but you know, we move. We move. We start this Thursday, of course, going way back, talking about the Help to Buy ISA versus the Lifetime ISA. And I'm actually going to add in a little bit now about the Help to Buy scheme, or initiative, whatever you want to call it, because that's also something that exists. And since I've been, in the gutter just doing maths for the last 2 months, I bought, again, my trusty notepad with all of the specific details about Lifetime ISA, Help to Buy, and then some other stuff at the end about, where I've been, what's going on next, and yada, yada, yada for the rest of this video. So again, let's get back to being concise. The one thing that this channel is highly renowned for, known for, this concision that we have on the channel. And yeah, let's talk about ISAs. So the first thing, and I think it's very important to mention this because it just is super important. The first thing is that the Help to Buy ISA that people were telling me to compare to the Lifetime ISA doesn't actually exist anymore. I mean, obviously, if you made one, I think, before November, October last year, then you're still going to have one, and you're going to keep having that for the next couple of years or so. But as of right now, as of today, the government have actually, I guess dissing something. They got rid of, they scrapped the Help to Buy ISA in favor of the Lifetime ISA, where, in my opinion, the Lifetime ISA is far better just in every way. But for the sake of this video, let's actually break down the specific points of the two, and then talk about why, if you do have a Help to Buy ISA, why you might consider switching over now to the Lifetime ISA, and, well, not vice versa, because as I said, the Help to Buy ISA doesn't exist anymore, but yeah, you get the gist. So fundamentally, let's go through. I've got a nice chart here that I made to break down all the specific points, I guess comparing the two. And yeah, let me just go through it one by one. It's probably not the best way to present the video, just looking at a second screen, but that's the way, that's the post-apocalyptic way of doing YouTube videos in 2020. So the difference between the two, I mean, Lifetime ISA, as I think I've said it before, actually no, I haven't said anything yet, but you can save a lot more money in Help to Buy, in a Lifetime ISA, sorry. The Help to Buy has a fixed £200 per month input, or you can put in up to, I think it's 3,400, which I've got written down here, in the first year. But in every year after that, it's only £200 a month, and you got to put it in every month, standing order, 200, 200, 200, 200. You can't put in one lump sum. Whereas the Lifetime ISA, you can put in £4,000 lump sum on day one, or you can do X amount per month, whatever. A lot more flexible. And to be fair, I should start by saying that both of them are very similar in the fact that the government back these two accounts, well, the one account now, where they'll contribute 25% a bonus on top of what you put in. So if you put in, £1,000 into either Help to Buy or Lifetime ISA, the government will give you an additional £250 towards your house. Or with a Lifetime ISA, there's a bit of a caveat because it can also go towards your pension, your end of life, I guess, savings account. And I guess that's the main appeal of these two accounts. So the government would add on 25%. That, again, you can only use it towards your house or your pension, but it's still a big bonus for people that, otherwise won't have access to large amount of funds or resources as they're growing up. Maybe they come from working class background, or maybe they just have their assets tied up in something else, I don't know. But yeah, that's the poor of these two accounts. So again, going back into the comparison, you can put an additional £1,600 into Lifetime ISA, also with lump payment, versus £200 per month with Lifetime versus Help to Buy. This also has the max bonus. So with a Help to Buy, you can only put in up to £12,000, and that basically means if you max it out every year, you're going to fill it within, what, 5 years? I haven't written down the specific here, which I should have, to be fair. But it's like 5 years, if not even 4 years, if you max it out every year. And that 12 grand means you only get a maximum bonus of £3,000, which is what I have got here. And although that's good, although like 15k, 12k of your own money towards a house is a good deposit, in some parts of the country, maybe not so much in London, but somewhere in the world that's a decent amount of money. I think I guess it depends. Again, it comes down to what you need. And again, as I said, this account's not open anymore, but that max bonus is, the lifetime ISA, let me just say straight out, it's 32,000. Like, that's because you can have it for as long as you want. But let's say you get it when you turn 18, the earliest you can get it, and then you have to buy the house when you turn 60. Is it 60? I never put it down. But yeah, it's basically 60 because, no, it's not. It's basically 50 because it assumes your max contribution over 32 years. Like if you max it out 4k over 32 years, that's how you get, £1 grand a year in bonuses to take up to £32,000, which is the max bonus, versus the 3k you get in the Help to Buy. And basically, if you're going to put in more than £12,000, you're going to benefit in the long run by using lifetime ISA and Help to Buy, because you just get way more, far bigger bonus. And also, as I said, you get to use it towards your pension as well, as opposed to your house. So even if you already have a Help to Buy, you can just open a lifetime ISA and put it towards your pension. However, I don't think it's the best. I haven't really gone into depth analysis looking into pension accounts, but I'm pretty sure like an employer contribution, like a regular pension account, would be far better than lifetime ISA. But that's a conversation for another day. What else is there? Oh yeah, I think this is also very, very important for me, at least, if someone who believes heavily in compound interest, because the bonus you get on the Help to Buy ISA is only paid when you go to buy the house. So you put that 12 grand in there and it'll just sit there and sit there and sit there. I guess if you put it in well, you can't even get a stocks and shares help to buy. It can only be a cash one at the time. It can only be a cash one, which meant you would get your typical like 0.5%, 1% cash interest rate. And then whenever you go to buy a house in the future, then the government will stack, that 3 grand on top of it and call it a day. So, go and do you, go and mind your own business. Whereas lifetime ISA, that bonus is applied not instantly, but end of the month. If you put that money in, it's calculated, and then the HMRC will add that bonus on, and then you get interest on the full amount, including the bonus, which means you just get way, way more money. And I kind of touched on it briefly, the whole stocks and shares thing. Because you can have it in stocks and shares, you can have like an investment lifetime ISA. Your potential gains are just like ridiculous. Like I myself have a lifetime ISA, a stocks and shares one. I put like £500 in on day one. I said I'll just leave it for now, and then I'll put my money in, top up when I get P's. And then I put that in, £500. It's currently sitting at like 750 or like 650 because obviously the bonus and then the stocks and shares growth. So it's like I'm not too shabby about that. So it's nice to know that I can get, of course, as I mentioned, compound interest. And because I know it's going towards a house, I know it's going to be a long-term investment, I'm a lot more shrewd, I guess, in the stock market as opposed to like my personal investing where I just pick, Tesla, because I like Tesla. Here it's like I'm looking through the best portfolios, and I can do that in another video, talk specifically about stocks and shares and investing. But yeah, it was nice to know that I have compounding interest on my house fund for 3, 4, 5 years whenever I go down to buy a house, and it's going to be far, far bigger than just the 12,000 that I would have got from Help to Buy ISA. To be fair, it's very good to mention. I said it before briefly as well, but you can have both. If you already have Help to Buy, you can open lifetime ISA on its own, but you can't get both bonuses in the same year. Like if you put money into Help to Buy ISA, you can't then put even more into lifetime and get double the bonus. It can only be applied to one account. But yeah, just do your own research as well, of course. The max property price, like, because I imagine most people will be using it for their first house. With a Help to Buy ISA, you're only actually allowed to get a house up to £250,000, or 450 in London, but 250,000 in general. Whereas a lifetime ISA is straight up just 450,000 wherever you go. That's your max price. You can get a house up to that wherever you want, and it can also be used for a mortgage or for I didn't write down half as much stuff as I should have written down in this report. But yeah, you can use it for a mortgage as well as opposed to just a deposit, which means you have a lot more flexibility, a lot more flexibility. You can plan better, and you can probably get more access to better houses through the lifetime ISA than you can with the Help to Buy. Help to Buy, one benefit is that you could have got it from 16 plus back when it was around, whereas now it's not. So this whole point doesn't matter. And yeah, essentially that's it. That's essentially it. Like, the way I see it is a lifetime ISA is far, far better. They offer way more flexibility. And even though the Help to Buy is better in one regard because you can use the money straight away, was as soon as you put in, I think £1,200, you can use it straight away. The lifetime ISA, you have to wait a year. But after you pass that 12-month threshold, once you know you're going to be there for longer than 12 months, there are so many benefits to the lifetime ISA. So if it's me, if I currently have a Help to Buy, I'm opening lifetime ISA right now and switching over to that. I don't think there's a logical debate there unless you're planning on buying a house within the next 12 months. Now, the second thing, I guess, the second part of this video that I mentioned at the beginning was the Help to Buy scheme. Now, I also have the notes on that as well because I was worried that I'd forget everything. As I said, all I've got in this brain right now is maths. But the Help to Buy scheme is essentially, I guess you could say in some ways, it's a continuation of the original Help to Buy ISA, but it is more about, it's more specific to the house as opposed to like an account that you open and you just keep building it over time. So essentially, as I said, I've got the notes written down here as well, and another neatly compiled form that probably misses out a lot of key points. But irrespective of that, the Help to Buy scheme is an initiative that the government set up, as I said, to help you buy houses and stuff. And they essentially offer you a deposit loan between 20 and 40%, or up to 20 or up to 40% in London of the house's value. So let's say you're trying to buy a house that's worth, I don't know, £100,000. It has to be a brand new house, has to be under the Help to Buy scheme. You can pick up that house and say, look, Mr. Boris, Mr. Boris Johnson, I want to buy this house for 100k, but I've only got a 5k deposit, because you need at least a 5% deposit to use the scheme. The government will say, okay, sure, like we'll top up to 40% with you, which is up to 40k, and then that will be your deposit. Now you've got, instead of having 5k deposit, you have a 45k deposit, 45% of the house's value. And obviously that means you're a lot more likely to be eligible, to get the house. You're not going to be priced out by guys with like big bucks. You can, not only, as I said, you're more likely to, you're more competitive in that industry, in that market. You also end up with lower mortgage rates because you're paying less of a mortgage over time. You probably get a lower percentage APR because you have a larger deposit, you have a larger equity share of the house, so they offer you a lower rate. And it's just, on the face value, it's very, very good. It makes it a lot easier for people that have, less of a starting base, less of a starting deposit, to be more competitive in that industry, because obviously it's a bit difficult sometimes. It can be unfair if you only have 10% and someone else has 50%. Obviously the person selling it is more likely to go to that person that's going to give them more money up front than with you, even though you both might pay it off over time, over the 25 years anyway. It ultimately comes down to how much you're getting on day one. And also for banks, as I said, they're more likely to accept you if you have a larger deposit. So it's, on the face value, it's very, very good. I think most of the research I done, most of the things that people were concerned about was, of course, the equity loan. As I said, let's say you buy a house in London and you use the full 40%. That means if the value of the house goes up, let's say it doubles to 200k. Now, even though you only took out a loan of 40k, you still owe them 40% as opposed to 40k. So you owe them, 80 grand. If your house doubles, you owe them double what you took out, even though you only took out less. And there's technically no interest for the first 5 years. But that's a big caveat, because it's like, as I said, I mean, I don't think it's probable for a house to double in value over like a 5-year span if you're trying to do it within the zero interest period. But yeah, it's definitely something to be wary of, especially if you're looking to like flip that house in the future. You have to pay off a bigger chunk. The only thing is, for me, it's like, if you are trying to pay it off, as I said, it's unlikely it's going to double in the 5-year span. But if you have access to the money anyway, it's good to use that just to get, to have a larger deposit, and then focus on paying that one off as soon as you can, just to avoid potential gains, having to pay back more than you bargained for. But either way, you can just hold on to it. The only thing is, as I said, if you do hold on to it, there are interest rules that I've got in this neatly organized table as well, where the interest rate will start from year 5 at 1% plus RPI. RPI is the retail price index. It's not really important what that is, but it just means that every year it will go up by roughly like 3 to 5%. The RPI is usually between 3 and 5%, so it will go up roughly that each year. So I've got year 1 to 5 will be 0%, of course, but year 6 will be 1.75% interest, and then 1.86% interest, 1.9% interest, 1.97, sorry, in year 8. By the time you get to year 10, you're paying off 2.21% interest on top of the fluctuating value of the home of whatever 40% stands for. And you can very quickly, if you're not shrewd, if you don't make those payments, you can end up paying off way more than you'd be happy to had you just gone with a normal mortgage and done things traditionally. But I don't know, the way I see it is like, obviously it sounds like big numbers, and of course if the property price like doubles within those 5 years, or if you don't pay it off within that 5-year period, then yes, you can end up paying a lot of money. But I think it just comes down to being shrewd. It comes down to knowing how much you can pay off, and obviously don't take out the full 40% if you're going to live in an area that seems to be rapidly growing, like, you know, parts of West and South London. Maybe take out less of a deposit, or have more of your own cash on hand in case you need to put money down either way. Or even, you know, whenever the market seems to go down, if you see rental prices dip, that could be your time to just pay off that while it's cheap. So it comes down to being shrewd. Obviously nothing, everything's got a catch. There's always something you've got to be wary of. So that's that. I mean, I didn't explain the full details of it because there are so many details I tried to gloss over, but just to be ultra specific. But essentially, yeah, it's just the way to help you, you know, beef up your deposit. And then there is a catch, but it comes down to, again, being frugal and knowing what you're getting yourself into. I think one final thing that I need to mention on the Help to Buy scheme, Help to Buy scheme, is that the maximum price of that is £600,000 within the London area. And I think with any new build, this looks like it's way off of me, but with any new build in the area. So to be honest, I feel like now that I say that, there are so many important bits that I feel like I glossed over that could be important if you're looking to like move out in the current climate anytime in the next year or so. So I'll probably make a proper video, a full video, like a moving out guide, where I can talk about, of course, the best strategies and methods to actually get a house, especially for young people like myself and like the people that watch these videos. You know, I've seen the demographics, I know how old you guys are. But yeah, I mean, I'll do a full video on that, because I think it's pretty cool, especially if you, let's say you already have a lifetime ISA and you're looking at a new build that comes under the Help to Buy scheme. Like, how can you best, you know, use those two things in tandem to get way more money off of your property versus like trying to do it the traditional way of just cash in hand and figure things out. So we'll do that in good time. But yeah, as I said, it's up to £600,000 is the max with a new builds in London that obviously have to be eligible for the scheme. And yeah, there's a lot of eligibility that you should look into on your own. But yeah, essentially it's pretty cool. And I'm about to get jumped by some kids, it seems like. But yeah, essentially that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That's basically all I have. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed it, subscribe. Tell your friends about it as well. Tell your friends. I noticed that we went from like 317 subscribers to 352 as of the time of recording this video right now. That's like an increase of 34 without even putting a single video out. So shout out all of you for finding me. I assume the vast majority come from that Bristol video. But yeah, let's try and hit. I think when I put out my New Year's resolution video, I think I was targeting 5k, which is a very long way off right now. But if we can at least get, I don't know, 400, 500, maybe even 10,000 within the next month, that would be sick. But yeah, all of that, it was all said and done. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.